Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast channel, and we've got a jam-packed Big 12 realignment video scheduled for you today. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. Listen, I know this is a predominantly Texas Tech channel. I'll be talking about Texas Tech football, Texas Tech men's basketball ad nauseum here. But we're building a legit Big 12 community here, and we will be talking a lot more Big 12 sports, whether that's the realignment front, football, men's basketball. We'll be talking about it all. And even from a sports betting perspective, as I work in the sports betting industry. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video to join one of the fastest Big 12 communities and one of the most interactive Big 12 communities here on YouTube. All right, let's jump into today's docket as it is a jam-packed one as we have the latest possibility of Arizona joining the Big 12. We also take a look at the Pac-12 TV deal, an update from Wildcat Authority's Jason Scheer, and then a potential timeline for the Arizona Wildcats to join the Big 12 as, well, they were not impressed, it seems like, by the potential TV deal that the Pac-12 presented yesterday. And let's jump right into that. As the Pac-12 held a meeting yesterday between all of the important people out there that may be for the 9 remaining schools, and the commissioner finally presented a TV deal, and it was a heavily streaming one with Apple. The numbers being reported right now range from 20 mil to 22 mil, and it will be heavily based on subscriptions. I saw a tweet out there, and I wish I could give credit. I forgot who it was from, where basically they would need half of the American population to sign up for Apple TV Plus to reach the level 32 mil that the Big 12 will be dishing out to each of its individual schools. So you look at this, and Jason Scheer reported this, that sources have indicated to him that it is the subscription numbers have been substantial in order to reach that level. Listen, I think it's plain and simple at this front. The deal is not good enough if you're Arizona, Arizona State, or Utah. Specifically Arizona. You have to think about this from the standpoint of you have options, right? Like you have the ability to go to the Big 12. And I'll give more of my concrete take in terms of what I think Arizona needs to do later on in the video. But you have to think about this if you're those 3 schools and those 3 programs from the standpoint of this. You have to think about the potential jobs lost in this situation and the programs lost, right? Like I'm talking about the standpoint of, hey, are you going to have to cut back sports teams, right? Are you going to have to do that if you can't know where that money is coming from a concrete situation, right? Like all you know is you are 100% going to get that 20 mil to 22 mil. All right, you can financially, strategize for that. But in terms of not being able to know what you're going to have further, you're going to have to cut back on some things. And that means you're going to have to probably lay some people off and maybe even cut a program or two because you just don't have the substantial funds you need to run an athletic program that you've grown accustomed to. So now things are changing in that regard. And I think this is important too. You have to remember this when it comes to what the Arizona president, Robert Robin, has recently said as of March 2023. A heavy streaming deal is not going to get the job done. It's not good enough, right? Simple and plain. And so when you look at this in terms of what's going on currently with the Pac-12, you have to take your options and look at them and not think about, oh, can I bring another school with me in that relationship? Sometimes it basically comes down to this. You have to think for yourself, and this is a fend for your moment type situation, if you ask me. And we'll go a little bit more in depth after we talk about Jason Scheer and what he reported on yesterday. But before we do that, give me one word to describe the potential Pac-12 TV deal with Apple. I mean, for me, it's just vastly underwhelming. I just don't see any scenario where Arizona thinks this is a good idea, where Arizona State thinks this is a good idea, where Utah thinks this is a good idea, Oregon, Washington, so on and so forth. But sometimes you're backed into a corner and you have to take it. But I want to hear from you guys your one word to describe the potential Pac-12 TV deal with Apple. All right, let's focus on Arizona now, as Jason Scheer has been on top of this better than anybody in terms of Arizona specific in the Pac-12, basically crumbling at the seams right now, and schools going to the Big 12 in the realignment phase for conferences. And Jason Shearer was on 365 Sports yesterday on YouTube. Really good stuff year round over on their YouTube channel. And Jason Shearer had this to say: I think Arizona is heavily leaning towards joining the Big 12. He went on later to say, I believe we are headed in that direction. This has been the thinking for the past few days. I don't think this is anything breaking or anything like that. But now with the TV deal out in the open, this could happen relatively fast, if you ask me. Remember, Arizona President Robert Robin said this in an interview with Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports earlier this year. No way you hear talk of it's going to be all streaming, Robbins told Dodd. Nobody's going to go for that. Over 50%? No, I don't think so. I think that's too much. It's okay if it's 50-50. You have to remember guys our age, people that I went to high school with, that aren't going to want to deal with streaming. Listen, simple and plain, the proposed Pac-12 TV deal with Apple was vastly underwhelming. I mentioned that as my one-word answer. And Colorado has already gone to the Big 12. And the Big 12 has one spot remaining, right? Arizona has to take it. Simple and plain. They have been worried about this, that, and the other in terms of optics and how they're going to be viewed in terms of the Big 12 or the Pac-12 is dead because of them. No, that is not how it works. The Pac-12 died the day that USC decided that they were going to bring UCLA along with them to the Big Ten. That was the day it officially died. Okay. It's just taking a little bit while longer for everything to digest, right? That's the truth of it. So Arizona should have no guilt or blood on their hands when it comes to the end of the Pac-12. It's that simple. If they are smart, they take this deal. They take it and run with it when it comes to joining the Big 12. Listen, you know $32 million is coming your way if you join the Big 12. What's coming your way is $20 million, and you're hoping and praying to Jesus himself that you somehow get maybe $5 million in subscriptions, which, by the way, is not going to happen. It's just not. So you take the money, you keep the jobs that you have if you're Arizona. You don't have to lay anybody off. You keep the programs that you have, and you join the best basketball conference in America while you still can. It makes little to no sense to me in terms of why the optics are so important to Arizona. If they really wanted to, go ahead, bring Arizona State, bring Utah. Utah's going to have to backtrack heavily on what it said in terms of their president and their AD and everything in terms of we're big Pac-12 truthers right now. We're big on that, no. Preservation mode right now when it comes to conference realignment. And Arizona needs to take this deal with the Big 12 just so their athletic department can stay afloat and they know exactly what's coming their way. Not to mention, it's just a fantastic deal for them. They're wanted. They have the option. Screw the optics. Throw it away. Do what you need to do, what's best for you in this situation, because it's preservation mode right now. Simple and plain. That's just how it is. Man, I didn't think I would go that far into it, but yeah, here we are. I want you to take your guess. What day will Arizona land in the Big 12? I think it happens sooner rather than later at this point, because you think about what the president has said multiple times now from the Arizona standpoint. We need to see the deal. We need to see the deal. Well, you saw the deal, and the deal was crap. You have to do what's best for your program at this point, and your athletic department as a whole, right? You should join the Big 12. And if they don't, you have to wonder what's going on behind the scenes a little bit, at least in my opinion, right? This makes too much sense for them not to take it from everything that's currently going on. But let me know. Let me know your one word to describe the recent Pac-12 TV deal with Apple, and take your guess down below. What day do you think Arizona will join the Big 12? Because I think at this point, as Jason Shearer said, and he's been on top of it more than anybody else, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if, at this point. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're one of the fastest growing Big 12 YouTube channels right now. Yes, we are predominantly Texas Tech, but I promise you we will have at least one weekly video talking about Big 12 football, men's basketball, whether that's from the sports betting perspective or just looking at the conference and who maybe is standing out or not living up to expectations. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and join one of the most interactive communities in the Big 12 here on YouTube in the Back to 12 podcast channel.